Hi everyone, welcome to my, I think it's the 8th or the 9th Flosstube. Today I'm gonna show you my August update or like September update because this is filmed in September, but mostly it's what I stitched on in August. My last update was the mid-year whip parade where you could see all of the stitching I've currently in my whip pile and what I finished. But yeah, today I'm trying to do a normal monthly update. My name is Teresa. I go with Emanon Crafts on most platforms. Emanon is like, if you turn around, no name. It's just a online name, username I've used and preferred in the last 20 years, I don't know. So yeah, welcome to my Flosstube. Thank you for everyone and for the love you gave me on the last video. I quite enjoyed reading your messages. I'm not that great at responding because I often have a hard time finding the right words, or especially with people I don't know. I often don't know how to respond, so don't feel bad if I don't respond. I read all of your messages. I enjoy them very much, but it often takes me quite a long time to respond to those. So this is my August update. I had a very active stitching month. I got like 30,000 stitches done. I was surprised when I looked at the statistics this month, but yeah, I got done quite a lot, which makes me quite happy. So yeah, I will again turn you around so you have a table view of what my stitching stuff, because my setup isn't the best to hold these things up because the light comes from the back and you can't see most of the things. So I will turn you around and show you what I've been working on and like what I'm planning to do for the next month. Yeah, hope you enjoy it. So let's start with my first piece, which is also my focus piece. This is the artwork Dream by Yukari, charted by myself with the permission of the artist. So if you chart something yourself, always ask the artist of the original art if it's okay or if you can compensate them in any way. I just want to put that disclaimer everywhere. So last time you saw it, I think those 2 pages weren't done, so like they're approximately around here and here. So I finished those 2 pages and carried on to this page. I didn't take it out of the hoop because it's just not worth the hassle. I will show you a picture of where it was last time, like maybe around here. I don't know. Maybe I already showed you. See, I don't know. So I put in all the stitches from the park threads that were here because here was a lot of confetti and so there were a ton of park threads. But yeah, I'm going to continue this month with this page, so it ends around here. So this page and this page, and if I get any further, I will probably do this side because it also has just 3 pages in the horizontal, or maybe I will do the this is horizontal, this is vertical. It only has 3 pages vertical, and this page is almost done, so it wouldn't be that much work to get a page finish here. Or maybe I will do the horizontal rows again. So around here is the halfway point of the piece, but and I'm about 76% done since I have a ton of stitches done up here already. It explains why I'm so much further than 50%. I'm quite happy that I'm at 76%. I only have 108,000 stitches left, so I hope this month I will get under the 100,000 mark. That would be very motivating and very nice. And just, yeah, getting under 100,000 stitches would be a very big milestone for me. But yeah, in general, getting to 75% was a good feeling. At the beginning of the year, I planned and wished I could finish it this year, but I knew it would be a lot of work, and since I haven't done that much in the last few months, I don't expect to finish it, but maybe I will get it to, I don't know, I don't want to make too big of plans, but maybe like to only 50,000 stitches left at the end of the year. I just don't know how much time I will have and what my motivation says. But this month I hope I can get 8,000 stitches done on this. So at least those 2 pages and maybe one other page should approximately be those 8,000 stitches. So just I can get under the 100,000 point, which would be just the best. But yeah, so it's going along a bit slower than I would like, but I don't pressure myself to stitch too much. I think it was about 10 to 40,000 stitches. I think 14,000 stitches I did this month, so like maybe a few hundred stitches more, but that's the rough estimate. But yeah, that's this piece. It's stitched on a 60 count Aida, 2/1 full cross. I only have 2 full coverage, 2/1 full cross pieces, and they take so much longer than the 10 stitch, and I'm just so happy when it gets done because it's such a big piece. It's very hard to manage when you're stitching because you have a ton of fabric hanging around, and I don't have a scroll frame that's big enough. But overall, I really enjoy the image. I just hope it won't take another 3 years. So the next one, I didn't do that many stitches. This is Coffee. I think it's called Coffee. Oh, it seems that the frame is warped a bit, but okay. This is Coffee by, the artwork is by Ruda Art, and charted by Gecko Rouge. So this was a Gecko Rouge kit. Last time you saw it, or I will show you a picture of how it will look like finished, and maybe last time you saw it, I didn't do a ton of stitches. I think it's like 145 stitches. What's new is I put it in a scroll frame and tried or started to stitch in the parked thread, since I used a very small nurse hoop, so which only could cover 1 page. So I had a ton of parked threads, which I almost stitched in. I think it's only 3-4 threads left. But yeah, so a ton of those yellow stitches, and I think also up here. I don't know how we will continue. Maybe I will do color complete or try or begin color completing the background, because it's only like 2 colors and it has a ton of background all around. But yeah, I don't have any fixed plans. At the beginning of the year I said 10% done would be great. I think I'm at about 6 to 7% done, 6.4% now, I know. But yeah, I don't have any pressure. I don't, since I also have the other the dream with the fishes and the cat, where I have my focus on, and I realized having too many plans and pressuring myself too much to stitch makes me not want to stitch, so I will stitch what I want to. Yeah. So and it's an 80 count Aida with the Gecko Rouge floss and fabric, so everything that came with the kit. Yeah. So the next one is Castles in the Air. I didn't expect to stitch on this, but when I pulled it out for the whip parade, I just had to stitch something on it. I did about 120 stitches around here in the castle, so I didn't do a lot. I think it's 1 to 2 threads maybe, but yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I still love the fabric and the color choice. I'm not too sure if I maybe have miscalculated the fabric count, so I might be a bit more on the edge on this side, but I've measured it and it should work out. It just will get closer to the edge here than here, but it's fine. It's not so short that I wouldn't be able to frame it or anything, so I'm okay with it. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I love the colorway. I think it's DMC 22, and it's 28 count linen, raw linen, and I enjoy the color combination. I think the stitches lay very nicely, even though it's 2/2 full cross. But yeah, and also with the back stitching. There's a ton of back stitching missing down here, so yeah, but I don't have any plans to stitch a ton more on it, but yeah, I quite enjoyed the focusing on it for one day. The next one that I also didn't expect I would pull out is Still Life with Flowers from Thea Gaviner. This is also quite a big piece. I didn't get a ton of stitches done. I think this side down. I hope I don't mess it up. But yeah, I think it's this is the right side up. It's just a white flower in the middle. I put like 150 stitches. I think it's mostly 100 stitches in. There are two different white colors. You probably can't tell, even if I put you close, because with my eyes I can't tell, but I'm sure it will do something for the shading and make it look even more beautiful. But yeah, I quite enjoyed it. But yeah, you have to work on it in the daylight because otherwise I can't see anything. I'm also not too happy with the stitching situation because I maybe would like to put it in a hoop. I don't have a big plan. Maybe in the future put it in a frame when one of the frames projects get finished and I have a place there. But yeah, overall I'm quite happy with it. And yeah, black fabric, you see every cat hair or every dust flake, but it's okay. I will wash it at the end since it's not a hand-dyed fabric and also normal DMC colors. But yeah, I enjoyed it. But I don't have any further plans on how much I will stitch on it this year. I'm just happy. I'm thinking about trying to touch every whip I have this year. But yeah, I think there are only like 7 whips left that I would have to touch, so that I touched every project that I have in my stash. But yeah, maybe to the end of year. I don't know. I think Leah Revenga has, or a lot of people have some New Year stitchy games where they pull out all of their whips and stitch on them, or all the whips that haven't been touched and stuff. So yeah. So now to my other whips. Right. I will try to do them in the order that I started them. This is Catchesty. I think, I don't know where it was last time. I think there were just a few light stitches. It also doesn't look like much. It's stitched on a 26 count even weave, 2/1 10 stitch, but I put in some more yellow stitches, but it's a different, so I think if you look closely you can tell the light shading, so there's lighter color and the darker on the outside, but yeah, it's not a ton of stitches, but progress is progress. I think it's about plus 100 stitches, around that, or 150 stitches. It looks less than other stitches where I did less stitches, but it's just because it's that small. But yeah, I also don't have any particular plans. I just enjoy those smaller fabric pieces because in the last few months I stitched a ton in hand, even those full coverage pieces. So this is Rose in Heart by let me remember, by Olga Filatova. I hope I spell it correctly. Probably not. Feel free to correct me. This is at 61% done, so it's quite far. I think last time you saw it I had about 30% done, maybe 40. I don't remember exactly. So I'm doing mostly color completion. Yeah. So the black color was, or dark, this is not black, but the darker color was, I think, over 1,000 stitches. But yeah, I got a ton of done. I really enjoy it. I also enjoy stitching it in hand because of this size. I just roll it up and take it in my hand and stitch like this. But I do it like back to front, so I don't just stitch from the front because of the fabric. I would pull the thread too tight and the stitches wouldn't lay that nicely. But yeah, overall I quite enjoy it. It's a very small full coverage and I'm quite happy. This is a stitch along, I think, by Leah Revenga, and I think, I don't remember how the other person's called. I will try to link them below under, I think on Instagram and on Blue Sky. It runs under the hashtag Armor Obsession Sal. But yeah, I quite enjoy it. I hope I can finish it this year. I'm quite sure I am able to. I only started it a month ago, and it's very easy to carry along for me. I had a ton of time on the train in the last month, so I had a lot of time to stitch on it there. And yeah, I wouldn't expect such a small stitch to be such a good travel project. Yeah, and since I'm doing color completion, the floss ring is starting to get quite small, so so I only have like, I think 21 to 26 colors left, something around there, so not a lot. And yeah, there's also a ton of backstitching going in, but I will cross that bridge when I get to it, I think the saying is. But yeah, I quite enjoy it, and also because I had so much fun with this piece, I decided to start some more smaller pieces, so like maybe not particularly small in stitch count, but just easy to carry around. You don't have a big frame or hoop or stuff that you need. And so I started a few smaller projects because, yeah, it's just something I craved in the last few months. So this is also a new start. Rose in Heart was started last month, or like in July, I think. But yeah, this is Fisherman by Alyssa Oakneys. I really enjoy her patterns. Yeah, this one is very colorful. I had the pattern in stash for quite some time. I also bought the floss like, I think, a year ago. It's finally time to start this piece. If you look closely, you can see it has 10 stitch and full crosses, so it's a mix of both. It only has a few back stitches around the boat and the fisherman, and yeah, I can't wait to finish it. It has such nice colors. It gives kind of fall vibes. It's, I think, more of a fall piece, but I haven't seen another piece that has this color combination from violet to orange and pink, and so I quite enjoyed it, and it has very nice feeling to it. Yeah, so I got a ton of it done, even though I just started it. It's not that big. I think it's still over 10,000 stitches overall. Yeah, I'm at 45% done. So with 45%, I count the half stitches the same as the full crosses, even though they are less work than the full crosses. And most of the half stitches are done, so they're only missing this part is still half stitches, and I think the rest is mostly full cross. Yeah, I still have about 6,000 to 7,000 stitches to do, but yeah, it goes along quite nicely. It's also one of the projects that I like to carry with me. Yeah, sometimes I would love to have some grid, so I'm still afraid that this might be one thread falls like to the left or to the right and some stuff, but I had a ton of luck with my stitching, with counting, so I didn't have to frog any bigger parts. But yeah, I hope I didn't miscount, because I don't have a grid where I can like go from. But yeah, that was a new start. Then I have another new start. This is Good Life Train, I think, or let me look it up. I hope I don't tell you anything wrong. No, this is a Good Life Train. This has about 15 stitches done, as you can see. It's not a lot. It's like a similar size to Rose in Heart. I also had it in my stash for quite a long time. I think the pattern is by Katarzyna. It looks quite nicely. I think it's not planned to be on this small of a count, but since it only has full crosses and blends with 2 colors, it's the same with Frozen Heart. You can do it with 2/1 10 stitch. You can also do full cross 1/1. I saw people doing the blends like the lighter color on top and the darker on the bottom, so you can make your blends. So like when you mix two colors, fit a smaller count of fabric. You just have to fix it a bit. I know what this one is. This is cat latte art. I will put a picture in here since you can't see that much because it also has only like 20 stitches. It's like two cats and a stone statue. Like I think it's some maybe Japanese temple style, like the lion, I think it is. But yeah, I quite enjoy the colors. I did buy the pattern on my bobbin and they had a Saga conversion, and Saga is quite nice because it has the backstitching in it. And I'm also, maybe if you're interested, I'm stitching all of those in hand, all of the patterns you saw, because a pattern like this you can quite easily fold up, stitch like this. I always try to have a good tension, not carry the threads too far, because it's easier if you don't have it in a hoop that you will warp the fabric, because if you pull too tightly, and especially if you carry the thread like a few stitches over, the dangers are higher that you get a warped fabric and it won't look that nice. But yeah, I think this is a 32 count linen blue spruce maybe, or some other light blue color. I think it's an even, I'm not too sure if it's an even weave or linen, because they look quite even, the threads, but not totally. Maybe you have an opinion in it, but I'm pretty sure it's a 32 count. Yeah. So the next one is another one by Elissa Oakneys. It's Girls with Physalis. I don't know how you spell it in English. In German, you would say Physalis, but yeah, I think it's not that different. Yeah, it's only a small start on your face. I quite enjoy my fabric choice. I had this fabric in my stash for quite some time. I think it's a 35 count or 36 count, and 2/2 10 stitch. This is my first time using that count of fabric, because I usually go for 32 count, or like if I want to do 2/2 crosses, or I will use a 20 or 40 count and do one strand. But yeah, I think the stitches still look nicely. I might have to put it in a hoop to make them lay a bit nicer, but I think for a start it looks like great, and I think the colors will look awesome on this fabric when the piece gets further along. Yeah, and as I said, Elissa Oakneys has quite nice fabric patterns with the backstitch and the color choices, and she has a very wide array of patterns, so I want to motivate you to do those. This is, I think, Frank Rose is also a very small start. I mean, this time you see a lot of patterns, a lot of whips that only have a minuscule start, but I think as soon as I'm done with Fisherman, I will take another one that I will focus on more. So I don't think Fisherman will take that much time, or if maybe I feel like I will choose another one. This is Crows, and this I would see as a companion piece. It's Winter Purr. Those are very nice pieces. I have another piece finished. Let me pull it out. 1 second. So I have this piece by Elissa Oakneys finished, and those two pieces almost have the same colors, and I think they would look very nice as companion pieces and next to each other. So when I saw there are two more pieces patterns, I just had to get them too and start them sooner or later. So yeah, this is one I did, I think, over a year ago. I quite enjoyed it. I love the imagery and I love cats. Maybe if you didn't realize, I have a ton of pieces with cats, but yeah, I'm just had to start them, and since I already had the floss for those colors, yeah, why not start it? since I had the pattern already. Yeah, so let me put those away. So the next one is Jellyfish. I think the artist is Katarinka. I think the same with Good Life Train. I hope I don't mess it up. Yeah, it's not a ton done, but it has a mix. Maybe it's this side up. It has a mix of 10 stitch and full crosses, and I think it will look very nice on this navy fabric. Yeah, another piece that's a bit smaller, but I love the colors, and I decided to do more pieces where I just enjoy the colorways because of the big full coverage pieces that have a ton of background in my stash. I just wanted to add some smaller ones with more exciting colors and stuff. So yeah. So the next one is Ostara by Pinky the Pink. I think the artist is Just Call Me Cat, and it's charted by Pinky the Pink. So if you enjoy gaming and stuff, she has a ton of very beautiful, sparkly, beaded patterns. And a few years ago, I saw her model stitch of Ostara with a ton of sparkling thread and beads, and it just looked awesome. So she even made a video so you can tell the sparkles because they don't show up that well on pictures. It's a small start. It's on a X2 design fabric. So most of my other fabrics are not hand-dyed. This is a hand-dyed fabric. Yeah. So this is, I think, Bloom. The colorway is called Bloom from X2 Design. I had it laying around for quite some time, and I didn't know what to do with it because everything was like, no, the fabric is too beautiful. I have I think another 3 pieces that are the same size, or like one piece is this side and another one that's double the side. So I only used a fourth of this fabric and cut it out for this piece. The threads and the beads still need to arrive, so I'm just stitching with the threads that I already had in stash. But yeah, when I get the threads and the beads, I can show you next time, so you get a feeling of how many special threads and variegated threads and stuff you will need for it. But yeah, I'm quite happy with it, and that's Ostara. And the variegation of this fabric is just the most beautiful, so I can only recommend XGC fabric. She makes very nice variegations and very nice colors, so if you're in the EU or general around there, so I've heard you had a ton of issues with the tariffs in America, but if you're around Europe, you should check her out. So now to some exciting stuff. I had 2 finishes this month. This is Cozy Nest by Nafnolo. My colors are a bit different because I did a stash conversion because I didn't want to buy any new threads, but yeah, it's a finish. It's stitched on a 22 count hardanger, so if you look, if it can focus on it. It's a bit smaller than a 20 count Ada, but it has a similar structure. And yeah, I didn't have that many stitches left. I think about 2,000 stitches were left, so a ton of the orange stuff. But yeah, I finally finished it. Quite happy with it because I didn't have any finishes this year. I only had like 2 or like 3 and 4 with this. So this is Closely Kept, my second finish this month. This is Closely Kept by Shaded Stitchery. Since she's bringing out a new one in September, I think, for download, because shipping would just be too expensive for me. But I think she said in some time in September she will release the Closely Kept 5. And I can't wait. So I was very motivated to finish the 4th. It's stitched on a 26 count, 1/1 full cross with a Miso Cedar silk, so you will see the light variegation. I think it's Darling Bleu, I think the colorway is. If you want to know specifically, feel free to ask. But yeah, I quite enjoyed stitching on it. I did every piece from the series that came out until now, so can't wait to do the next one. I'm just afraid that I will run out of this fabric because I do all of them on this fabric with the silk. And if she does a ton more, then I might have to get more of it. But I think there are worse things than buying new fabric. But I love them. They are so beautiful, and also the history behind them. I think it's a great project to support. Yeah, that's my finishes. So yeah, I will swivel you back around and end the video. Maybe show you. I think I still have a knitting project I will show you. So 1 second, see you. That was that. I hope you enjoyed it. I have a small update on another, like, more or less stitchy related knit. This is the Long Dog Queen Dacour, or Pointed Fifth, I think it's also called. You won't see it that much. I think last time I was about 25% done. Now I'm at about 30%. So it's coming along step by step. I didn't stitch that much in the last month, but you can tell. I can't show it any better, but yeah, it's about 32% maybe done. Yeah. So, that's my projects. I have another plan. I didn't stitch anything on my new normal by Long Dog. So yeah, it's at the same stage than it saw last time, so it didn't get any update, but I have to pull it out and put it in a hoop next to my workspace, because otherwise I just won't stitch on it and just leave it on the side. And I really want to get it done because it's also one of my oldest stitch after the big full coverage cross stitch, and I think it's just time to finish it so I can maybe pull out another Long Dog a bit more, or some other cross stitch project I have. Since I did a lot of starts this month, I have very big selection of what I can stitch if I want to. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know if I will be able to do an update next month, but if I will be able, you will see. But I will make sure to write down what I stitched on so I can one day show you an update again. It's just this is a hobby, and I don't know when I will feel like it, and I don't want to pressure myself into doing something that I don't want in my free time, which would be kind of strange. Or in my opinion, it's craft however you want to craft, I guess. But yeah, I hope you have a nice September, yeah, it's September. And we'll see you the next time. Bye.